Since the very beginning, we have been always very interested in the popular culture, so in the things that we use every day in our normal life, in our popular life. And we have been using these ingredients in the project since the first one. So it's not only about what we learn of our history, which is very important for us, but also the mystery between what we know and what we have, what we live, what we use, what we can buy, and what we see in the streets. Maybe it's more related with that. It's not because we like colors, although today I cannot say that, but he is black today.
Black today. But it's true, I mean, it's naturally introducing this kind of things that belongs to our culture and that belongs to not our culture in a broad sense. It's not our contemporary culture. I mean, you know, holidays, festivals, parties are a really important part of our life. It's a counterpart that is discussing the normal everyday life, but it's really important for us as a society to have this kind of events, to have this kind of playful way to reintroduce in the everyday life all these kind of things that could make life better, let's say, in a very easy way. And we try to introduce them naturally in the projects.
We really like to work, let's say, assembling things. So we understand the project as something that can be constructed, assembling ideas, concepts, ways of thinking, ways of producing. So establishing links. And the tools that we can use are so broad. We can use the digital tools, software, we can use our hand to draw sketches, and also the way of understanding our reality is very open from this point of view. So we are interested in nature, but also in the popular culture. We are interested in the history of architecture. So and we work establishing links between all of these things. That's why it's so sometimes so different, no, the approach.
The architecture is so complex that normally architects tend to simplify things, you know, categorizing different or making different categories. So as Cristina was saying, we are more keen on producing kind of bizarre assemblies, mixing all kind of materials. And because of our life is like that, we are like, you know, in our daily life, not only as architects, we are mixing and remixing all kind of techniques, knowledge, history, and all kind of materials in our daily life to construct our culture. And that's what we started, that's what we think that could be worthy to reintroducing in architecture, which is not to simplify our world, but trying to make what we call third natures, which is basically a kind of assembly of techniques, cultures, and interests into the project.
We are really interested in the relationship between the building and the people. And we are really interested in what happened after finishing the construction that is not finished. That then the building is not finished. It's when the building starts to be something, because it's in this relationship between people and the building. From this point of view, if you mean from the point of view of the people that will use our architecture, we are much more interested in the possibilities that these devices, as spatial devices, can provide to the people, and the relationships after that, and what can be done in the life after finishing the construction, more than in the object. We are not interested in the photograph and a nice photograph for a magazine, and so not at all.
Maybe the simplest way to explain what we try to do with our customers is try to engage the building with them from the very first beginning, trying to extract the main features of the building from the people that is going to use the building, their cultural concerns, their cultural constructions, and after the building is finished, to make them participate actively in both in the construction, if it is possible, but for sure in the appreciation of the building, let's say.
We are very interested in the social groups as the context of our projects. So is the social conditions are exactly what we use as main ingredients to produce an answer, to construct spaces, but to produce an answer to certain conditions related basically with the people. So are the main core of our, at least of our interests in these last 4 or 5 years.
Maybe something that is really interesting about materiality is that it's absolutely linked to cultural appreciation. What we consider nowadays like environmentally friendly or environmentally interesting was some years ago simply not interesting. And what we consider nowadays as something, I remember, for example, speaking about another kind of thing, completely different things. I remember in Spain, like 15 years ago, olive oil was considered like something for people, for really poor people, was considered something unhealthy. You know, was considered for yeah, that's true. I remember that, right? Because all the scientists in a way were appreciating culturally, both culturally and scientifically, this material. But nowadays, we have another kind of completely different appreciation, which is both scientifically and culturally constructed. And this is something that is absolutely basic for us. You know, the appreciation of materials is culturally constructed. And the polemic use of materials is as well a tool for architects. You know, maybe it's completely wrong to use plastic as something eco-friendly, but maybe to introduce the polemic into architecture is something that is much more powerful and much more interesting than just following, you know, the standard rules for materiality.
We do believe in software as a possible, very powerful tool, of course. And you need to be, I mean, you need to know the last software packages every month, of course.
And you have to be able to construct your own software packages for yourself. That is, for me, the most interesting part.
But
this kind of assembly, you know, the everyday techniques, which is software.
But the software is not the main thing. I mean, it's a tool, it's another tool. And we understand software as one tool, very powerful, so you can do incredible things, but it's not the main thing. That's why it shouldn't be like the core of architecture, imagine, or any other.
If you try to screw, you know, one piece, you know, with your fingers, it's almost impossible, right? But if you use a tool, it's becoming super easy. So that's the point. But the point is not to screw something, you know, it's to produce something that is relevant.